What's up, everybody? This is Mr. Straight Fact Show, and I'm Mr. Straight Fact. So let's get to the news of today. Well, if you follow me on other platforms such as TikTok, you would have saw a video that at least you would have heard me talking about a video that one SE Cup put up. Now I'm going to play it for you, and I'm going to respond to it here so that you can kind of see exactly what I was talking about and what I'm kind of tired of. Because again, I see Democrats out there scrambling, trying to figure out what to do with Donald Trump because he's sporadic and he starts breaking rules and laws and everything. And the Democrats are spread thin trying to cover all this stuff up. But, I'm asking, like when they say, where the hood at? I'm like, where the Republicans at? Where the old school Republicans at? Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Liz Cheney, where you at? A few other people, where y'all at? Where are you guys at protecting your party? Your party's dying, and you're the one who left it. The ship was sinking. They were throwing bombs into your party, and all y'all did was quit. And now some of these Republicans, old school Republicans, got smoked for Democrats. The ones who are holding it down as far as like staying fucking sane, they know it because they've jumped ship trying to come to sanity. But at the same time, they're pissed off that Democrats haven't figured out how batshit crazy they allowed the Republican Party to be. But we're gonna hear what she had to say. What's up, Mark? I see you. I see you, DJ. See you, Vera. Delinda, welcome. So we're about to watch what SE Cup had to say, and we're gonna get into it.
So this is my question for Democrats. What's the plan? We're like a month past Epstein now. MAGA hasn't fallen apart. They love him just as much. What's the plan? Was the hope that Epstein would just tank Trump and Republicans and usher Democrats into the midterms? I keep saying this, resistance is no substitute for a competing agenda. Where's the agenda? Where's the Democratic vision? Where's the plan to make things more affordable? Where's the plan to clean up crime? Where's the plan to fix a broken immigration system? Where is it? Why do Democrats cede every problem to Republicans?
This trick said, why do Democrats cede every problem to Republicans? What in the entire fuck is she talking about? I mean, seriously. She's sitting her lazy ass on the couch talking about what people are doing while they out in the streets talking to people, going everywhere. This woman don't leave the studio or even her fucking bedroom. And she's talking about, where's the problem? Where's the plan? You want to know something here? I got a little smoke for you and your fucking party. Okay? You built this fucking Frankenstein. Yeah, you pieced this bitch together and it started to live. Donald Trump could not have done what he did if your party stood up when he got impeached twice and kicked him the fuck out. Legitimately, he needed to go. But your party chose to say fuck off and continue going down this path of destroying democracy. Yes, SE Cup, while you sit there and act like you got the fucking answer, like Republicans has the fucking answer. You're the one who's got the fucking problem. You built this monster. You should know how to kill it. But no, you build it and then you all jumping ship. Half of y'all jumping out the party. Going to independent. What the fuck you doing over the independent side? I ain't heard none of y'all supporting anybody. I don't see you running no kind of programs for solutions over there on the independent side trying to take over the Republican Party. Why isn't the independent party that's filled, I mean chocked, filled with you old ass Republicans? Why aren't you guys out there fighting for what the fuck you believe in a more Republican conservative way that's not batshit crazy, and you fight for your party. Why aren't you doing that? You're sitting on a fucking couch talking about what other people should be doing. Democrats is the fault of your fucking party. Your party's sitting around doing nothing but allowing this shit to happen. Sitting in a corner watching these the Democrats and Republicans trying to go at it. They're trying to do something. Democrats are trying to pull everything out their hat. They're running to other fucking states and shit so they don't have to deal with the fucking Texas trying to destroy democracy there. Starting to do shit when they're not supposed to. Every 10 years, they do this. And now they're doing like every election. They're gerrymandering every fucking election. And you ain't got no smoke for that? Maybe you do on your show. I don't know. But right here on this, you are making it seem as though the Democrats is all responsible for your fuck up. What's so tripped out about this is the Republican Party split into two factions. You weren't shit to begin with when you was with what's his name? Bush. You weren't shit to begin with. But we long for those days. But then you were a piece of shit party. But you didn't have dreams of turning it into autocracy. You didn't think of being, like it was going to change the world and stuff. But no. It was Democrat, Republican. We had, good times, bad times. The last good, somewhat Republican, I didn't like him most of the time. But near the end of his life, I was like, oh, okay, I can respect him. And that was Senator John McCain. I respected him as a military person being a prisoner of war 1,000%. As a Republican, I was like, But near the end, this man started actually making some fucking sense. He is the only one, to be honest, the last one to fight for the Republican Party. Lindsey Graham went straight bitch. He's always been straight bitch, but he went even more bitchier. Flip-flopping all over. He's a fucking fish. 1 minute, he needs to stop this and everything. Donald Trump should be, impeached, but, we're going to try and work with him. And then next thing you know, he's the greatest person in the world. I want you guys to donate money for him on Fox. How the fuck he crying and shit? The fuck was that? All these different Republicans just turncoat. Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell's a piece of shit. But you got other ones who just quit. Just left. Didn't fight for their country whatsoever. And don't give me this shit, you scared of your constituents. You scared of losing. These people are at town hall meetings being cussed the fuck out, and they ain't got no, they're like, it is what it is. Bye. If you were scared of your constituents, you sure as fuck wouldn't be treating them like that. So this entire time, you guys haven't been scared of your fucking constituents. If you were, you would start following them right now. You're not. So S.E. Cup, kiss my ass. Why don't you step up and do something? Why don't you find people to run? Why don't you go to Republicans and tell them to take their heads out their fucking asses and actually go out there and fucking do something and take their party back? It's not our job for you to have a better party. You need to kill that monster. That shit y'all built, that MAGA shit you guys allowed to take over your party, that was the minority of your party. There was like 8, 10 of these bitches in your party. And now it's all of them. Why? Because you guys capitulated. You guys fell for it. And I guarantee the reason why you guys aren't fighting is because the policies he's getting are the policies you wanted. You on here acting like you want this shit to end. Then what the fuck are you doing to end it? You want Democrats to come up with all the solutions? Why aren't you over there telling the Democrats, this is what I think you guys should do? Because only a demon can understand how to kill the demon. You allowed it to happen, so you're part of that demonic party. You just jumped off ship because it got too demonic for you. But when it was on the level of sane and insane, you was on that fucking boat. Pushing it to the edge. And now y'all sit back and put your hands back and say, what are the Dems going to do? No, why the fuck did you leave the Dems in the situation to begin with? Why did you get rid of your party? Why did you let MAGA take for? Why didn't you fight for it? If you really loved your country, you would fight for it. And you can see he's destroying democracy, and you're not fighting. You want Democrats to come up with all the fucking solutions. Why don't you shoot some solutions their way? Why don't you go and talk at one of their particular functions and say, hey, look, I'm here. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm still a Republican, and I'm fighting for my country. And the way I got to do it, I got to jump on the Democrat side. I mean, what the fuck are you doing? Absolutely nothing. That's the reason why I labeled this show, where basically the fuck are the old school Republicans? Where you at? Because it's the Democrats spread the fuck thin trying to figure out, hey, look, the Republicans have split up in multiple factions. One party, the old Republicans, where we had problems with to begin with, they're acting like they're on our team, but not really. Every few minutes that their old party acts bad shit and does something even more stupid, instead of them calling out that person, instead of them going to their constituents and saying, you know what? I'm going to have an SE Cup like convention, and we're going to bring more of these Republicans out to hear more of the stories. Let's bring out regular old school Republicans the way we want to do things. We want the same policies without the craziness. We want these policies that you guys want, but we don't want all this craziness added onto it. This is the time for you guys to be doing that. You should be out there, Republicans, fighting for your party, saying, look, we want a better America. We want a better Republican Party. Hell, they started a Tea Party, which turned into this stupid ass party, the MAGA. You guys should be starting something else that says we want the values without the mess. But no, you want Democrats to solve the problem, the monster, the evil that you created. You incubated this bitch. You fed it until it ate your ass up. And you want us to fix the monster you created. So why don't you just shut up a little bit and start acting your fucking self? Instead of talking about what Democrats should be doing, what the fuck should you be doing? Because I don't see you doing anything. I don't see Republican people marching, talking about we want our party back. I don't see you gathering old school Republican ideals, people who are still young that want the old school Republican ideals, marching into these particular places and saying, we don't want this shit no more. No, you want Dems to do it. And guess what? Your MAGA people don't even like the Dems. So how the fuck we going to be able to talk to them when they don't even fucking want to talk to us? They're too stupid for it. They can't gather logic. You're a part of that party. You helped it get that stupid. You allowed these dumbass people. You asked for their money. You asked for their support. And you got it. And you got the power behind it. But you kept lying to them just so that you can get what the fuck you wanted, the policies that you wanted. Even Liz actually got voted 90% of the time with Donald Trump, even though she jumped out and like, oh, he's crazy, blah, blah, blah. 90% of the time of his first term, she voted with him. She agreed with all these policies. She just didn't agree with the batshit crazy. So why aren't you fighting for the policies and your party back? That's what I'm talking about. But you guys don't do that. You sit here and bitch and moan about the Democrats and what they should and should not be doing when you're doing absolutely shit. Absolutely shit. I haven't seen you do anything. Your party has been sitting on its ass waiting for what? I don't get it. But I'm going to tell you this. You can't blame us for your fuck up. We out here trying to fix it, but you and your people need to be out there just as well trying to fix it. Out there marching for the Libertarian Party or whatever it is to take back over the Republican Party. But no, you think that somehow Republicans are tasked with fixing your own fuck up is something that you shouldn't be doing. Democrats should be doing it. Why should Democrats seed every problem or solving every problem with the Republicans? The fuck is this woman talking about? You caused the problem. Boy, I'm telling you, these Republicans, yo, they're like the no responsibility humans on this planet. Split into half. Republicans, regular Republicans, conceded to the smaller faction of the MAGA Republicans, dropping off one by one. There was more of them than them, and they dropped off one by one, quitting. And these other Republican constituents saw them just dropping off and their people was going away. You guys, this party fucked over everything. You guys allowed them to do it. You voted alongside of them 90% of the time, thus giving them more power, knowing you were destroying democracy. You were destroying norms. You were giving power to an idiot. He was a useful idiot for you guys. Laughing all the way to the bank, many of these Republicans were. Didn't realize that he was going to even come back. You had a chance, January 6th, to make sure that he could never be president again. And your party, Republicans, chose to allow him to be president. Or be free to try and be president again. He should be in jail right now. Due to you and your party, he's not. Dems are doing everything they can. But see, Dems, we speak a different language. We speak logic. You guys speak all the other ills that in this country fluently. You speak stupid. We don't speak it. Our party has no idea how to speak to the dumbass people. Because our party were the hardworking people that literally tried to get A's. We didn't go out there to try and flunk our way to the top. And you want us, which we should be doing, to be able to speak fluent stupid. We should be bilingual in the situation that we should speak common sense and nonsense at the same fucking time. While both of these people are not taking responsibility, they're taking the weight of both of these stupid fucking party people that split in half and throwing it all, dumping all their problems onto the Dems, and the Dems are all trying to figure it out. That's why you got them running 15 different directions. There's no unity in that party right now. Their thing is try to get rid of Trump, and the more they try to get rid of Trump, he starts another fire, then another fire. And what do Republicans do? You people are quiet. And you're blaming Democrats for the problem you built. This raggedy house you built. Burn the bitch down and start over. But don't ask the Dems to handle our fucking problems and then take yours and throw it on our back and try and fix it too. Fucking insane. No responsibility. NC Cup, who says she's not a part of batshit crazy MAGA, no responsibility on your part. You think, oh, I got to do something. Fuck yeah, you should do something because you fucked it up. Your party fucked it up. All the shit we're going through is all Republican shit. Democrats didn't do anything. The Democrats are the same Democrats they were before. You are the ones who changed. You are the ones, Republicans. You had no problems with Donald Trump lying and his minions, Republicans, lying to the American people. You had no problems with Republicans going to Fox and speaking that propaganda when you know that it was lies. You had no problem hitching hitching up to Russia. Even though you guys are saying Russia's like the worst thing on the planet, Lindsey Graham and all the rest of them, but you hooked yourself up with Trump, who's in Russia's back pocket. And every last one of your Republican friends, SE Cup, flip-flopped. Donald Trump, yeah, it was worst thing. He shouldn't have done that. You know, he gets the consequences and blah, blah, blah. And then so many, like what, 100 of them or so many of them voted. A vast swath of them voted that that they basically overturned still after them having an insurrection, staying up late at night. They still voted. When Donald Trump had those people out there with the gallows trying to kill the vice president, they still voted the way Donald Trump wanted them to. That's your party, SE Cup. How you gonna fix that shit? It's not up to us to fix your party. It's up to us to fix ours. To come up with solutions. Donald Trump ain't came up with no fucking solutions. Everything he's did is the same old shit Republicans have always spat. Ain't nothing different. He's just gone extreme to get what you guys always wanted. The problem is he's fucking with your rights too. If he was fucking with people of color and Latin, you wouldn't even have a fucking problem. But you see democracy falling apart. And I don't understand how Republicans didn't think this shit through. How do you think that giving somebody dumb as Trump more power than he deserves was going to end up good for the country? You didn't. You're the ones who are not patriots to this country. You didn't love your country, because if you did, you would have took that out. You would have killed that where it stood. And I ain't talking about killing him as a person. I'm saying making it sure that he could not become president again. You chose party over your country when your party had fallen apart. You still chose party over country. You saw this man destroying this country and you said yes to it. And some of your people that you respected, because you wanted the old school Republicans, some of them are still in office right now. They're not the people that you thought they were. Better yet, they are the people that you thought they were. You just didn't think they'd follow behind an idiot. Some of you guys, I don't know about SE Cup, y'all still cool with some of these assholes out here destroying our country as a Republican. You still cool with them. Some of these Dems will say, my friend on the other side, they ain't your friend. Destroying democracy, somebody's your friend. They don't see it. Are they that stupid? How can they be leaders being that dumb? And if that's true, SE Cup, then you guys need to weed out the stupid people in your party. But no, you want the Democrats to do something. Offer something better. Offer something better. They already have offered something better. We just can't beat out propaganda. And because even the old school Republicans aren't fighting the propaganda, they're still showing up on Fox, then the average American who reads at a 6th grade level can't decipher between the fact of an old school Republican and MAGA dipshits. You guys all blend well together. So no, it's not the Dems' responsibility for you guys to kill that party and take it over again. That's your job. And if you love your country, you get your ass off the couch and help fix that shit. And stop telling other parties what they should be doing. What you should be doing is fighting for the country you say you fucking love. I said what I said. 10 toes down on it. Get your ass up and fix it. Stop asking other people to fix your fucking problem and then try to project and say it's fucking Democrats that are the problem and Republicans got to somehow fix it. No, you fuck it up, you fix it up. Ask somebody else to fix your fuck up. The fuck is wrong with these people? Fix your own fuck up. We can help you, but we don't know how in the back rooms you guys organize this bullshit and how you continued to vote for it. That's on you. That's your sickness. That's your illness. You got to fix that shit. We don't understand batshit crazy. Obviously you do. You just came out of the bubble. Now go fix the shit. You know where from whence it came. Jesus. All right. Let me get back. Calm down. So, passionate about this, man. Destroying our country and then try to blame it on another party. No, responsibility. Take your responsibility. Take your lumps and fix it. Dems have no problem helping you, but this is your party. You got to fix it. You have to fix it. today, or was it yesterday, but today they were talking about it. There was a Republican in California. He's in the congressional first district. Republican Doug Lamalfa, Lamalfa, or something like that. I'm in California, but I'm not in the first district. That's more like Northern California. But anyway, he was getting his ass lit up today. I saw it today. Oh, I think it was yesterday it happened. But he got his ass lit the fuck up, y'all. They were going after him, and rightfully so. I mean, this is just a part of it. But we're gonna have two responses from people. But it was worse than the two responses I got you, because there was a couple F-bombs dropped, and F you. He said, "Why you put your finger up like that?" President like, "Fuck you." I'm telling you. Didn't I tell y'all a while back ago that this shit's gonna get worse? It ain't gonna just be people just saying a few things. I said, no, I knew from the very first one that happened, these people were irate. And I said, if you don't change nothing, by the end of this, somebody gonna get hurt. And it's already escalating. This guy, now you gotta understand something. He's a Republican for the first district of California, congressional first district. The makeup of his particular district is, I believe, 38% Republican, 33% Democrat, and I think undetermined or something like that is 22%. I don't think it's even independent. I think it's just 22% undetermined or something. But anyway, so it was a majority Republican, but not by that much, 5%. So in this audience, I don't know, because I didn't check these people. We don't know. I'm sure there's Democrats and Republicans in here. But even the Republicans that I got to saw, because I didn't watch this whole thing, it was like almost 2 hours long. So that what I heard, a good 30 minutes of this stuff, I didn't hear not one Republican like saying, yeah. I saw everybody just lighting him up. But those might have been just choice things that I got a chance to see. But anyway, let's go ahead and listen to what they had to give this man. They gave him a two-piece. Let's go.
Called your office every day, so it's a big, beautiful bill. Haven't gotten a response, of course. You've danced around this question a few times today, so I'm going to be a little bit more specific. How do you justify voting yes on the big, ugly bill, knowing that 43% of your constituents, the highest of any California congressional district, receive Medicaid and other government assistance?
She just said 43%. 43% of his constituents, almost half of his constituents, receive government assistance. Hello? That's a shit ton. How you going to vote for something that your constituents, the majority of the people in your city, are going to get hurt by it? I tell you what, his train of thought is, because all this stuff is just majorly racist, because they're really just trying to say they're trying to get rid of brown and black and people of color that they consider to be lazy, poster childs for welfare, when we tell you the majority of white people on it. Just like they did when they created welfare. They didn't call it welfare. It was assistance for people that, that was poor, and they loved doing it because it was only for white people. In the 30s, when they came up with this, only white people. Nobody, black people lived here. Of course, we've been here since the beginning. Didn't get no parts of it. Not an ounce, not a penny from 1930 something, whatever it was, all the way up to like 1968. Not a dollar came to us. So all this hunger and strife and having to work, what happened? Black people pulled themselves up by their bootstraps and were still poor. While there was a big swath of white people that were receiving checks from the government to subsidize them while they worked. Some of them did not work. They never got called lazy. None of that shit at all. But then when black people were allowed, people of color were allowed on it in 68, then all of a sudden it became an entitlement program. And since then we've been calling it entitlement. And so what they're trying to do, and that's why he's not really kind of worried, I believe, is that he can't say it out loud, but he's like, y'all ain't gonna be touched. Y'all white. We ain't gonna fuck with y'all. Some of y'all gonna be strays. Yeah, you're gonna be strays because you live too close to them. Some of y'all gonna be strays. But you ones that's over here in the rural area and ain't nothing but like 4 black people there, y'all ain't gonna be fucked with at all. But we can't say that out loud. Just like they couldn't tell us, they couldn't give us homes back in the day when they started the housing boom, which created the wealth gap in this country. Black people weren't included in that too. Oh, it was a government thing too. They're the ones who invested. Donald Trump's father got some of that money and his partner to build those buildings that he built. It's crazy how most of the people that you think of that made wealth in this country got subsidies from the government to be this wealthy. They were choices. The government chose to make them wealthy. Donald Trump's father wouldn't have been wealthy without the government giving him all this money to start buildings and his father robbing the country by making false claims that his buildings wasn't, livable, or so to speak. Nobody was buying them, so the government bought it back at a high premium. Yeah, you can go read up on that. These fools used to buy properties or build properties, get money from the government, and then they're supposed to get paid from it. Everything getting paid. The government, as long as they create these housing apartments or whatever, Donald Trump and his partner used to sign 99-year contracts with it and say, we can't get anybody with it. We'll sell it back to you. But not at the rate that we built it at, but at the rate of these 99 years of a contract. And they're getting millions of dollars back from the government. Now, never mind you, they got hundreds of thousands of dollars to build it, millions of dollars to sell it back to the government. And it was a scam that him and his Donald Trump's father used to pull off with his partner. They were getting sued at one point, yeah. But then he bought off the senators and shit like that, and then it just disappeared. Kind of like what Jeffrey Epstein's case just kind of disappeared and gave a sweetheart deal. Donald Trump's father's deal just fell apart. They turned it and said, we're not going to follow it anymore. We're not even going to pursue it anymore, even though he was a fucking criminal. That's where Donald Trump learned it from. So all this happened. That's why this man is saying really nothing. He's allowing it to happen when they talk to him about that, because he can't tell them, white people, y'all gonna be good. Y'all gonna be good. We're going back to the old days where we helped white people and it wasn't called entitlement. We just gave y'all money and y'all just, shh, don't tell nobody.
I would also like to know how you plan to make up for the hospital's deficit because of the lack of payment so the burden doesn't land on the average taxpayer.
I am a retired Air Force veteran, disabled. I question, the context is very much like that woman was just talking about, in that if I, as a military person, had done an iota of what Donald Trump has done against the Constitution of the United States, I would have been court-martialed. So my question to you is, what are you doing to maintain that separation of power between the Supreme Court, Congress, and the White House?
That's a good and important question. We in the U.S. House and the Senate need to assert our portion of that triad. And, much power is vested in the executive branch. And we've seen that grow over the years and years with the executive orders. The Biden era set, for example.
They lit his ass up once he said the Biden era. These people, and I don't like Democrats doing it either. You know what I'm saying? I mean, only when it's actually appropriate. But this man ended up bringing up the Democrats and said, well, he had these executive orders. Donald Trump had a shit ton of executive orders. Obama had a lot of executive orders, but nowhere near as much as Donald Trump. Donald Trump was the one who was talking about, he's got all these executive orders. He shouldn't be having executive orders. He plays a lot of golf. He shouldn't be playing so much golf. And then he comes in and beats out Obama in golf in the first fucking month or two that he was fucking president. More than Obama did the entire 8 years. This fool surpassed in his first year. Trump has had more executive orders than Obama by far. than Biden by far. And this man brings up, oh, well, it was like that because of before, the Biden. No, no, sir. No, sir. Donald Trump threw out like 100 and something fucking executive orders in his first fucking week of being a fucking president. It's craziness. And every time you turn around, he's throwing out more. Weakening our democracy, left and right. And this man wishes to evoke Donald Trump, not Donald Trump, but Biden in the midst of all this crap. How are you going to evoke Biden? When you're bringing up a fact that this man, he's gonna say that it is bad, to have all these, but it's what happened under. Again, no responsibility, always pushing shit other directions. Why don't you just say, you know what, it is bad and it's something that we should work on. Our Congress should come together, the Senate and the House. We're Republicans are in power, but we understood they had power the last 2 years or so of Biden's term, and they could not govern. I don't know if y'all remember this, because to me it seems like a lot of people forget shit quick. The Republicans could not govern. Did you understand me? It was the worst House and Senate ever in American fucking history, modern history. They didn't pass hardly shit, and they didn't accomplish hardly shit the entire time that they were there. They had all these fake meetings and shit. Crazy people. They had one dude that was supposed to be their star witness, and this dude, one of them was in jail, and the other one was a spy. Jesus. Good night. For another cut, this is what they couldn't govern. And now they're back in with their governless self. Ain't a damn word, but you get my point. They can't govern. They're trying their damnedest. And it's sickening. It's painful to watch them try to govern. The House and the Senate have no clue. It's like this man has infused dipshittery into their blood, and all of them are either afraid to govern or they done plain forgot. They're not writing any bills. They're not passing anything. They passed the big, beautiful bill, which was like a smorgasbord of bullshit. You remember the last 2 years? These fools had like meetings about washing machines. It ain't talking about a day or two. They were talking about that for a minute. They can't govern. Thank you, Five on Fire. Exactly. They couldn't even pass a bill they wrote. They couldn't even the last time. They couldn't even, it took them 16, 17 tries to try and get a speaker of the fucking House. I'm like, Jesus Christ, these people can't govern. And we got the three stooges of government governing our country. All of them are like bumbling idiots. Fuck up after fuck up after fuck up after fuck up. Every last one of them. Kash Patel fuck up. Pam Bondi's a fuck up. Dan Bongino's a fuck up. Pete Hegseth's a fuck up. Donald Trump's a major fuck up. Fuck up after fuck up after fuck up, yo. And our country is all over the world. People are looking at us like, what the hell? And here's the question that I want you guys to even have for yourself, because I know many of you already know. If you were the leader of another country, seeing what America has done, not once but twice, are you looking for some other country to kind of like find some kind of solace and like some kind of, like steadiness? I know I would. Who wants to be in a relationship that's rocky as hell all the time? I don't know about you, but in my personal life, I don't even accept drama. You come to me with all this drama about, different things every day, every other day, the drama about that particular, like, whatever it is. I'm like, just figure out the solution to it. I don't mind you coming with problems, but try and figure out a solution. Or you're just bringing up stuff that you don't want solutions for. I'm like, I got time for that. Starting shit that don't make no sense, I ain't got no time for that. Just wanting attention for no fucking reason, I ain't got time for that. That's what I'm talking about with drama. I have no problem with people bringing me problems, and we can work together and provide solutions. Masterminds, I love that. The meeting of great minds that come together and solve huge problems that America or whatever, business or any people in life are having, love that. Live for it. But you just coming just to be hugged for no reason or talking about for no reason. I ain't got time for that shit. We got to go somewhere. We ain't just coming just to pat you on the back so that you can feel like a better human. And that ain't me. We working on something. I don't do that myself. I don't expect it from nobody else. And Donald Trump is that. Always wanting a pat on the back. Oh, wow, gave me a gift. Oh, yeah, yeah, wow, great, thank you. I deserve it. I deserve it. No, you don't. You deserve that box, that coffin. That's what you deserve. But you didn't get it yet. And I ain't God. So I just keep on waiting on when he's going to creep up on your ass and do what he got to do. But that's what you deserve. From all the shit you done in your life, that's where you should be. But I ain't God. But if I was, I would have struck your ass down probably in your 40s. We're looking at, people not really caring about their country. Donald Trump, all the minions behind him, they talk about they care about their country. No, they care about whiteness. They're not caring about the country. Because they was caring about the country, they would see that we're messing up relationships with all our allies. That they're scrambling around trying to figure out whom or where they're going to get their products and services because they're not going to lose money. They're going to figure something out. Now, America has a lot, and a lot of people are going to want this market, don't get me wrong. But are they going to wait for us to figure it the fuck out? Most of them have already made deals with other countries. We don't know how long those deals are. If those deals are contingent upon America getting this shit together and they coming back, we don't know that. But America is going to have a steady hand for the next 20, 30 years. None of this flip-flopping, because if we go back to MAGA after this, you might as well say this country's gone. Ain't nobody going to want to fucking deal with us. America done lost its way. Having dipshits run the country like forever, that's gone. America's gone. They talk about America's great, wonderful. No, nobody wants that shit. And think about it. The shit that they want to do in this country, what other country is going to want to deal with us? That's the shit that Russia does. All these countries don't want to fucking deal with Russia. They done kick them out of all kinds of things in Russia. Trump's trying to be Russia? Isolating ourselves from everybody? How safe is that? And this fool only got he ain't even got a decade left. And our kids and grandkids are going to be fucked up over this guy's decisions for fucking 30, 40 years to come. It's insane, man. It's just to think about that shit is insane. America's going to be fucked up probably for the next 30, 40 years for the shit he's doing. Because nobody's going to trust a Republican being in office ever again. Not with the shit he's done. Moody's, along with, I don't remember the other name. It's another one that are actually, looking for a recession. They're like 40-something% is a recession we're going to have. One of them said that we're already in it. But reality is, these jobs numbers weren't fake. 19,000, 14,000, went up to 73,000, whatever. It's not good from 14,000, but they thought it was 258,000 more jobs than it actually were. So our economy is doing bad. Now they're doing worse. And now they're going to put people in that's going to try and put in fake numbers. Now watch what's going to happen to BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics. If they bring this dude in, he starts implementing his shit, you're going to see a lot of these people jumping ship. Now, the moment people start quitting and this dude wants to hire new people, other countries are going to start selling their bonds. Because they're going to be like, fuck this country. This country is bullshit. They ain't, for the next few years, think about this. Remember when China, we used to say all the time, that China used to fix the books and their economy isn't exactly what they say it is because their numbers aren't exactly what they say it is. They pulled the same shit. And for the longest time, people didn't trust China's numbers. Many people still don't trust them. And that's where America is right now. We were the steady hand. And now our hand is shaky as fuck, just like this dude, Donald Trump, the shaky as fuck. And there's no end to this whack craziness. We don't see an end to it. If we are living here and don't see an end, you think these other countries, our allies, France, Mexico, Canada, you think they see an end? Do you think they're going to wait to see an end? China got another, 90-day extension? I'm like, why you keep extending it? He wants them to capitulate. Oh, did you hear that Harvard's going to give $500 million to some bullshit? They're talking about, we're going to help this, help that. You think Donald Trump gives a shit about helping people with education when he's getting rid of the Department of Education? I mean, I understand that Harvard's supposed to be the school of higher learning. But why would you want to go to a school that hasn't learned that Donald Trump's a ripoff artist and they're willing to give up $500 million? So what? So that they can get whatever it is, $1 billion or whatever it is in investments for all this stuff like that. So you're giving a piece of the money that the government is giving you out of our tax dollars. You're giving away some of your money so you can get that. And you're paying Donald Trump to start some kind of programs to help with schools. And what the fuck are they talking about? Donald Trump just got rid of the Department of Education. Now you're going to give him $500 million for schools? That shit don't make sense. For training? Donald Trump don't give a fuck about no training. This shit makes no sense. In the school of higher learning. How? How you going to sell that to the American people? The thing is I'm really understanding a lot of this stuff. They don't give a shit about us. It's money, power, and that's it. Of course, with them sex as well, but money and power. That's it. None of this giving a shit, caring about people. No, they want you to believe they care, so you put money in their pocket, and they will lie to you to your face. Having not a care in the world. What do people care about? You're a person? Well, not really. What do people care about? Then they do their research and find out what you care about, and then they sucker you with your feelings and emotions and tell you, well, if you put $25, little Sammy could eat a cracker every day. And everybody's putting $25 in and shit like that. Sammy ain't seen a fucking cracker in years. Sammy dead. People are just demons, man. Donald Trump released the military on D.C. today. And not only is this just horrific, it's going to turn American citizens against the military. Yep. Because we're used to sending our sisters and our brothers and daughters and sons and husbands and wives to protect us from people who want to unalive us. We don't send them to us to harm our own people, because that's what's going to happen. These people aren't trained to be like nicey nice to us. They're trained to kill. So why would you bring people whose main job is to go out there and kill people on American citizens? Like they have like enough training to come out here and be like de-escalating. Our brothers, sisters, husbands, wives, sons, and daughters who have been to war, who have been out here doing the things, a lot of them have PTSD. The wild things they had to do for our freedoms. That's why we cherish them and appreciate them. That's why every time I pass one or talk to one, I'm thanking you for your service, because it's more than your service. You gave your mind, body, heart, spirit, your mentality, your safety, everything for this country. And these are the people that are going to be getting cussed out because they're standing in front of places trying to harm American citizens for doing what they are allowed to do by the Constitution, but they're supporting a dictator in chief. Therefore, they're going to get that smoke from American citizens that they don't deserve, but they have to do. That's one of the pieces I can't stand, because they deserve to be respected, but they're going to become hated. Because they're going to have to do things the way they know how to do them, and they ain't going to be nice. And that's what Donald Trump is hoping for. That one of them goes off and has to either unalive somebody in their own mind or hurt somebody in some way, shape, or form. And he's going to say, it's okay. Just like he said at his rallies. I'll pay for your bill. It's okay. Like he said here recently, when he said he was going to release them yesterday, I think it was yesterday. He's basically giving them the okay to hurt American citizens. They're getting spit on. And when they spit, we hit. This little whack-ass nursery rhyme. Again, that's brainwashing. Because you're going to be saying, spit, hit. And therefore, these dipshits are going to continue saying, spit, hit. So, if one of these people are all up in their face saying, man, fuck you, I can tell you what the fuck I want to. Spit comes out, they hit them, everything's going to be okay. And that's what he was talking about. Yelling in somebody's face and spit just flying out your mouth. They're not spitting on them. They're just and spit's coming out. So I got a question for you real quick, Donald Trump and all those. When you got those officers screaming at you, spitting in your face, and when that spit hits my face, can I knock them the fuck out? I'm just asking from an American citizen. You say when they spit, we hit. Well, if you spit on me and I don't spit on you, we can hit back, correct? That's what you just said. Be careful what you ask for. Because I don't know if you noticed, there are a lot of people around here that ain't taking no shit from racist white people no more. White dude stepped to a black dude outside of I don't know, I think it was a Target or some shit, some store. He got laid the fuck out. He was counting sheep, dogs, packages of cheese, everything. Just sitting there trying to breathe. Fuck around and find out. That's what you're putting up. American citizens fighting each other because one wants to feel like they have more power over the other when we're just American citizens. There is no emergency to put our military out on the streets because somebody's going to get hurt. And don't get it twisted. It's not going to always be the citizen. Some of these military people are going to get hurt. And that's what Donald Trump wants too. So he can say, crime is just so bad, I got to take over the whole country. It's all a ruse to get what he wants. Thank you, Final on Fire. The military is struggling to recruit or retain service members over this. I know personally. Yeah, I mean, it's too much. It's too much. You got a military that's supposed to be fighting overseas. It's supposed to be fighting to save lives. It's supposed to be fighting to keep, our democracy and the Constitution. And he's pulling 800 here, 1,000 people there to do nonsense. Ride horses through parks with kids, scaring them for no reason. It's nonsensical at all. It makes no sense. But he had his little press conference. And I wanted to have this conversation with y'all because I just want to deal with facts and not bullshit. Donald Trump and many people in the media today I saw, no matter what race, I've seen black, I've seen white, I've seen Latin, I've seen Cuban, I've seen a few others on different, liberal and right wing, whatever, clips and stations and so forth. The way they're talking about this, let's talk about Donald Trump is saying that, he's doing this to, he's going to stop crime. Well, that's bullshit. We ain't going to never stop crime. But that doesn't matter. It's what these people hear. So here's the difference between us who are Democrats, liberals, or independents, or just fair-minded individuals. We can understand the nuances of stuff. I can say that I want to, decrease crime, and then your answer would be how? See, now when it comes to dipshit people, you just say, I am going to get rid of crime. And then you start doing something, and these people think, oh, he's decreasing crime, because they don't know any kind of nuance. None whatsoever. None of them will ever go research how does crime even start. Like, why do people commit the crimes they commit, depending on what it is. If it's murder, that's one thing. If it's shoplifting, it's another. Right? Jaywalking, whatever it may be. Why do people commit crimes of shoplifting versus unaliving people? A lot of that is self-defense. But a lot of these things happen, and there are certain parameters that fit, that cause it for the majority of the crimes that are committed in certain, like they say, like in their situation in Washington, D.C. He noticed how he picked mostly, when he mentioned stuff, he'll pick mostly black majority states, because around the world, throughout the United States and all over the world, racism is a fluent language that people speak. See, they automatically, even if they don't think they're racist, they automatically think that black people are more criminal, because they go around with these stats talking about 13% of the population, 50% of them in jail. Nope, 50% of those arrested get out because they're charged for shit that they didn't do. That's where the 50% comes from. But no, see, again, they don't work their brains. Not at all. They just see 1350 and they just run with it. Why do I know? Because you keep on seeing them say it. Charlie Kirk says it. All of them. They all bring it up. How come it's not true? White people commit the most crime in this country. Have been and always been. If black people started killing on a killing spree today, for the next 50 years, they kill somebody every day for the next 50 years, we couldn't catch up to how many white people have killed in this country since the 1600s. Still couldn't catch up. By far, we still have to wait. We have to do that for another 100 years, killing white people every day to catch up with how many times white men in this country have killed, raped, murdered, maimed, harmed any other race, and even their own. The most murderous, the most rapinest culture on the planet are white men. Go look that shit up. Go count numbers. And you'll see. In every country. What was Hitler? German, still white. Go look at them. The majority of the murder in this, killing this, egregious acting people on this planet are white. But you got too many people in this country hear crime and they think black. Why do you think black? Do you think yourself to be racist? Most people do not. But if you're putting something on a race that don't belong on that race, and you've gotten this in your mind that that's the case, then why isn't it about racism? Ask yourself, ladies and gentlemen, no matter what race you are, have you ever in your life heard or said, we got to fix this white on white crime? I'll wait. If white men commit the most crimes in this country, yet we've never said white on white crime needs to be fixed, then that means there are so many criminals out there that are white that haven't even been arrested or charged because of the fact that you don't look at them as a culture, as people who kill, rape, mass murder more than anybody else. If you saw the white race the way the stats see the white race, you would be like, what the fuck? I don't want to ever be around white people. But it's so crazy how we don't do that. But we got too many people in this country that say that about black people. It's insane that the most murderiness is white, but yet you're worried about being killed or unalive. You're more likely to get killed by a white person than a black person. Yet you don't say that. You don't think that. And you've never said white on white crime. You've never said Latin on Latin crime. You've never said Asian on Asian crime. You didn't realize that? Your entire life, you've never heard that phrase, but people have no problem saying black on black crime. Even black people say it. Because it's so in our culture, in this country, all over the world, to demonize black people, even when they don't deserve it. We don't deserve that label. We don't deserve the label, and our sisters didn't deserve the label for so long, and the photos and the big lips and all that shit. Welfare queen. Welfare queen's a white woman. So if you thought a welfare queen being a white woman, they wouldn't want to get rid of it. But here's the question, white women. If most of you guys are on it, not most of you, but a good percentage of you are on it, and they keep on talking about black people on it, and they try to get rid of it, that means yours is gone too. We're like this. We're not like this. We're like this. And that's the problem. They got people divided thinking that, put a black race in front of it and then we can get people to stop wanting to do it. You're going against your own interests if you're talking about getting rid of entitlement programs when those entitlement programs are helping more white people than any other race. But they throw a black face on it and now people don't like it. Many people don't want it. People talking about pull yourself up by your bootstraps. When you hear the words pull yourself up by your bootstraps, do you think of a white woman that has 2 children trying to get by? You should, but you don't. Why? Because this country's racist as fuck. When you think of the worst, you don't think of white men. You think of somebody of color. Right now, we got Latin people, brown people, people of color in kennels because they're brown and black. And there are so many white immigrants here that have overstayed their visa, came here from Canada and haven't gone back home, still hanging out with their husband and wives, chilling. None of them have seen a fucking cage. Know why? Because the pictures of seeing a cage filled with white people doesn't look right. But somehow a cage filled with brown and black is okie dokie. Tell me this country ain't racist. No due process? Do you know what it would be like if black people just decided, you know what, fuck this, you know what I'm saying? We've been here since day one, you know what I'm saying? We've been indigenous and blah, 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 and then got together with Native Americans and say, you know what, we're going to go start wrestling up some white people, you know what I'm saying? We're going to go to the Indian reservation where America don't have no fucking like say-so on our Indian reservation. We got our things together. We can start gathering them up and throw them in the dog cages. No, fuck the law. We ain't going to do nothing with the law. We're just going to go grab white women, men, and children off the fucking street. Say they're in a gang because they got white, blue eyes. They in that light blue gang, and we just gonna grab your asses and throw you in a fucking cage. How does that shit sound to you? Sounds fucked up, does it? So why does it sound fucked up when it's a brown person or a black person to you? Riddle me that. It sounds scary and fucked up if we talk about black and brown start going out and picking up white people off the street with masks on and throwing them in fucking trucks and driving them to other countries and dropping them off in white countries. You know what? Throw them in that white jail. Like, what? Yeah, I ain't never committed a crime. That's all right. Your ancestors did. Throw them in a cage. Would you like that shit? No. Do you have to think of it like that to be able to figure out that this shit is fucking wrong? I hope not. But if you do, you just got it. And hopefully you'll start fighting for these Latin people and these brown people and black people and other people that are being encaged and thrown in other countries. Solely because white men feel like they're threatened because people of color are outnumbering them. There's no other reasons, ladies and gentlemen. They aren't killing people. Majority of these people aren't even criminals. So you snatching people up just trying to get food? By moving your furniture? If they wanted to unalive you, I don't think whatever the Latin named person standing there at Home Depot, moving your couch for $10, moving your entire house for $50 that you would pay an American citizen $2,000 to $5,000 for, that guy carrying a sofa on his back by himself, that dude that wants to make food for his family and you only break him off $150 or whatever and he can be able to feed his family for a day or two and he ain't never did a fucking thing to you or to me except for sit out in the hot fucking sun waiting for somebody to come by so that he can feed his fucking family, and you want to throw that man in jail and then send him to another fucking country, cut his fucking hair off, and then he ends up getting either raped or hurt inside of a jail where he ain't did shit but come here and try to have a better life like your fucking ancestors did. Don't tell me you love this country. Don't tell me you're not fucking racist if you're celebrating this bullshit. You ain't going out and lifting nobody's fucking couch for $50. So shut the fuck up about it being your job that you took. Fucking lying. You just want to throw bullshit in front of your racism to verify, to validate your bullshit. We see straight through it. You're a racist piece of shit. Point blank, period. Hope you die slow for that shit. All right. When you think about really trying to fix what's going on in this country, because neither party is trying to fix it. All of them are throwing some whack ass, not even waterproof Band-Aid on the bitch. But there's a way to be civil and still fix this shit, or at least attempt to fix it. See, Donald Trump throws out the simple, like I said, the simple, stupid shit. I'm a end crime. Yeah. How? Well, put military on the street and tell them if they spit, you can hit, and I'll be fine with it. That solves it. We had the crack epidemic in 1980s, that area, right? They had the war on crime even back before then, in the 60s and 70s. They'd been working on this shit forever. It's never really a solution because, again, a solution doesn't allow you to be suckered into voting for me to have power. So if I solve a problem, then you really don't want me to be president. I can't run on the problem solved. So I got to make the problem seem worse than what it is, or I got to create a problem, do something, right? We've been having war on crime, and guess what? We keep repeating the same shit, and nothing happens. See what Donald Trump is talking about? Being tough on crime? They already did it. It's already been renamed war on crime, tough on crime, whatever the fuck it is. Put officers on the street, arrest a bunch of people of color, because that's what it did the last time. Right? Crack epidemic, that's what it did. And then all of a sudden, what? We end up having the epidemic of white people being on drugs in Virginia and all these coal like factories or whatever you want to call them, miners, their jobs were gone. So a lot of them were taking all kinds of drugs and shit, methamphetamine, teeth falling out and shit like that, committing crimes left and right. The crime in that state, in those different states like Virginia and all the coal miners area, crime was rising up because they was on drugs, stealing and robbing and doing raping and everything. But when it happened to these white people, what did they say? Oh, it's a mental health issue. This is a sickness. They didn't throw them in jail in droves and destroy their family. They knew what they did to the black people. They didn't want to do that to white people. Why didn't they do it? The war on drugs in the 80s happened before the white drug shit happened to them. So they already had a plan. Just drop it right here. Plug and play. Copy and paste. You can't say this country ain't racist when you got the exact same fucking problem. And for white people, it's all, let's help them. And for black people, fuck them. Let's throw them in jail. Destroy their families. We don't give a fuck. You can't say it's not racist when you got the exact same problem, but one of them is a human being and the other one you treat like wild dogs. Just like they're treating Latin people and people of color, they're throwing these cages like wild dogs. And the white people who are immigrants, you don't hear shit about them. They aren't even being pulled up off the street. Matter of fact, they brought in white people from South Africa, and one of them was a fucking criminal. Don't tell me this country ain't racist when I'm bringing you all these examples and you ain't got no response to it other than, damn, that's racist as fuck. Can it be fixed? Yeah, if we get the situation where we start saying, you know what? We got to stop letting the racist people depict this country. And if the racist people outnumber the non-racist people, then racist people, you got a lot of work. I mean, non-racist people who happen to be of the same race of those people, y'all got a lot of work to do. Because they ain't going to be racist around us until it's last minute, where it's going to be their life or mine. But hanging out, they're your brothers, they're your sisters, they're your cousins, they're your distant relatives. It's work you got to have done in order for this to be fixed. Because we can't say nothing to them. They hate us. They ain't listening to the word we say. They love you. They might listen to your words you have to say. But the reality is, we can't end racism. Can't happen. We can't end crime. Can't happen. But we can lessen both of those, and that should be the plan, the strategy, right? So Donald Trump is talking about putting more police and military and all the things like that. Go back and look at history and tell me when more policing has ended up in less crime. See, it takes that surface level thinking to think more cops, less crime. And that just equates in your head. Boop, yep, it happens. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. Doesn't work that way. What happens is innocent people get arrested. Innocent people get killed. Some people who do arrest get charged for things they shouldn't get charged for and go to jail for way longer than they need to go for. Some of them get arrested and many years later you find out, oh, they didn't do it. So then you have a situation where what happens when you start over-policing people? Crime goes up. Ask yourself, why does crime go up when you over-police? Answer that question. Riddle me this. When police officers and these military people and stuff like that is more on the street, why would crime go up? I'll wait. I'll get a few answers here and see it before I answer. Why would crime go up if more policing comes on? Anybody got the answer? Thank you. Welcome, B Money. He's a truth bomber now. Why would crime go up when policing increases? Over policing. I ain't seen nobody respond to it yet. I guess it's delayed. But I'll wait to see. I see you ridiculous. Nobody's got the answer for that. Why would crime go up when we over police? All right. I don't see anybody answering the question. So reason why crime goes up when we over police, because people just automatically think more police, less crime. More police, less reported crimes. Why? Because police, when they over police, and there's too many of them, many people in the community know that when these police catch one of these particular criminals who just may be a bad seed, who just might be poor and just can't eat and decides to rob, not rob, but shoplift and, a sandwich every now and then, you know what I'm saying, which actually can get you some time. They understand he's not a bad kid. He's in a bad situation. So what do? They report less. they report less. When which crime goes up, but it's just not reported. Crime doesn't stop, doesn't even slow down. You see, people kind of like don't know exactly. Sometimes, and I don't know exact phrase when exactly what year it happened. I'm gonna do the research on this one. But many, many years ago, a neighbor of mine told me where we got like the snitches get stitches. There was another rhyme before that, something like that, but snitches get stitches is that particular phrase, and it ended up being that phrase. Why does that happen? Not because the community didn't, the community liked criminals. The community saw what police officers did to criminals. Calling a police officer back in those days could end up, and not even end up, most of the time would end up in your child or somebody's child, a black child, being unalived in one way or another. Either beaten to death, hung to death, dragged to death, whatever it may be. And every time they thought about it, they had to think, is the crime worth this child dying? Is the crime worth this man who has a daughter or a husband or a wife or whatever it is it worth this person dying over it? It's just a car. He just stole this. They just stole that. It's not worth them dying. And if you called, that meant you didn't care about the black race, because you knew these white people were going to harm this person. And that became a part of, if you snitch, you get stitches, because you just sent a black man or black woman to their deathbed in a horrific way. Officers were doing some of the most rottenest shit back in the day. Raping the women, beating the women, hanging the women, way back then. So they knew women were getting, that's the reason why we came up with black on black crime. Black women were being snatched up and nobody knew where they were going. In the black community, the officers weren't coming. Hell, some of them were the ones doing the snatching. So they needed officers and police to actually treat the black women like they treated white women. When they get snatched up or taken back in the day, even to this day, it's bad, but it was even worse back then. They would call the police. Maybe they left. She's only 12. She ran away. Whatever. Okay, give it 28 hours, 24 hours, whatever, 48 hours. And then all of a sudden, nobody would come out. That child be gone. The family or community had to try their best to find and do their own clues, play Inspector, Caruso or some shit or whatever it is. They had to play it to try and find their baby. Officers and shit weren't doing a damn thing. So like in the 80s, Reverend Jesse Jackson came up with that phrase because he was asking the president at the time, or I think it was Nixon and I want to say Reagan. And instead of using it to help them, which he was like, we need to have officers working on our black crimes, because in our crimes, black men and black women are disappearing. And we don't know whether it's through black people, whether white people, we don't know who's doing it. But no officers, no police are actually coming to help us find our women. So we need help with this black on black crime. And they weren't talking about black on black people. There's like black people in black communities. They didn't know who was taking these women. And they ran with it in a racist way, Reagan and Nixon. And they started saying, we're going to fix this black on black crime. They used it to promote, to get votes. Did they help with the black on black crime in the black community? No, they did not. They just used that phrase and demonized black people and turned us into criminals. When it's supposed to be black crime in black communities, meaning like there's crime happening in the black communities to black people, and white officers aren't paying attention. And it turned into a derogatory term that might be the reason why you've never heard white on white crime and Latin on Lat crime and Asian on Asian crime. because they didn't have that to use as a political cudgel to fuck with black people or that particular culture. Evil shit. Evil shit, y'all. But when it comes down to a Donald Trump telling people, I'm going to stop crime, it's not real. It's not real at all. It is the Democrats, which a lot of people are asking them to do. It's like, what the Democrats don't get is, again, they got to speak fluent dumbass. And we speak above people's heads. We don't realize that the average American citizen is a sixth grade, can read at a sixth grade level. So we speak at a high school or, college level, or at least 10th, 11th grade level, just with common sense. And they're stuck on, birds fly backwards. I'm like, all right. So you got to give them phrases to remember. Like if they spit, you hit. So, right. So that's what they need. These short snippets of bullshit that gives them, I'm going to end crime. End crime. Sounds good. They never even ask how. Because it doesn't matter how. He's already told them he's going to do it. And they're just going to back him up on how he's going to do it. No matter the fact that what he's talking about doing won't end there. Because you would have to go through history and find out that more policing does not equal less crime. It actually increases crime. Now, when you start to think about what causes crime, for the most part, crime has to deal with economics, opportunity, right? That's where it really comes from, economics and opportunity. If you don't have a job and you don't see a way out, even the most, look at trading places for one. The most richest person, hoity-toity, came from whatever college, Princeton and all stuff like that, Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. He was all uppity and, ew, don't like this. And they couldn't, shit like that. Ooh, a black guy. Things and shit like that. That's where that hoity-toity bullshit. Then you got a street dude, Eddie Murphy. And with opportunity and a chance in life and economics thrown at him, a man that was on the street hustling, black man, got that opportunity, and he did the job just as good or even better than a man who had a Harvard or Princeton, I think he said Harvard or Princeton, one of the two, educations. And that person at Harvard, without any opportunities, Dan Aykroyd, turned into a homeless Santa Claus, eating salmon out of his beard and robbing a place. So real. Ask yourself, if your life right now just started to fall apart and you've never did anything illegal, you ain't so much as did a jaywalking, you haven't even did jaywalking. But if your life started to crash and everything around you, you couldn't find a work, you couldn't find a job, you couldn't get in some kind of program, you want to train, you use every resource that you know to have. Go to a place and say, you know what? Nobody wants to hire me, so what job is out there that people are hiring from? Oh, they're in tech. Let me go learn how to code. You know what I'm saying? Go to free classes, learn how to code, then try to get a job there. Nobody wants to hire you. You done tried out and did everything you could, and nothing happens. At some point in time, your stomach's going to start rumbling. At some point in time, you're going to end up on the street. At some point in time, you're going to get violated and life is going to be shit on that street. At some point in time, you're either going to choose death or steal food to eat. We're not exempt from doing things that are survival. We're not. We're all susceptible to that. Nobody here would see a person or you on an island and that person's got a bunch of pigs and you don't have food at all at some point in time. I don't know when that level of yours is going to be. Some people, their stomach just might, and they already done grab them a pig and they don't have a whole feast. Some of y'all going to be till you're almost at your deathbed. Yeah, one eye ain't gonna be able to see no more. All the vitamins out your body. You just against breaking the law, but you gonna take something and carve up one of those pigs eventually that ain't yours. It is just human nature to survive. So when you see people doing things like stealing food or bread, you see what I mean? That's something I believe as a man, as a human being, it's my job to buy that bread for them, not to arrest them, to give them an opportunity, not look down on them, because you don't understand where they at and what they've been through and how much that is sustenance to keep them alive, to keep on going one other day. I'm gonna do it. You don't know what's in their brain. And to give up on humanity, it sucks. I know some people are just like Trump. I wouldn't give that dude another chance whatsoever. I just let him die. If he's like, food, I'm dead now. I ain't giving you shit because you don't did too much evil. You know, you need Satan just to come and take your soul. I ain't gonna help him. I'm just gonna sit there and be like, push him a little bit. Jesus, God. Here you go, devil. Here you go. Here you have a push him a little bit off that cliff to give him a little edge. Take him. But for any other good person, I'm there to help. So those are the types of things that will solve the problem. And I'm going to give you some examples. If they created in a certain, let's say in Washington, D.C., just give an example. They're bringing 800 or so military men and women. I'm guessing it's mostly men with Donald Trump, but I'm guessing, but military people to stand guard. Now, those military people don't get paid tiddlywinks. They ain't getting paid like, minimum wage. They're getting paid handsomely or beautifully, whatever you want to take it. And so when you got military men and women, they're not only getting paid, whatever hour they're getting paid, whatever pay grade they at, they're getting paid overtime and all kinds of other shit. So you're going to spend with these people, depending on how long they're going to be there, they're going to be a month. It's probably a good cool million or so, if that. It may be less, but I would say a cool million because he's going to probably increase at 800. But I know the one they did in L.A. was over $1 million or something like that. You just throwing millions of dollars, boom, boom. If you spent $1 million to help people who are poor and on the street find opportunities and jobs, invest in them so they can start something that they know how to do, you can help to decrease crime. See, the way you decrease crime is you find out what causes it. And for the most part, poverty causes it. And if you work on poverty, you also work on crime. But see, people have this jealousy of helping poor people get out of situation because I don't want to spend no money on them. Well, then you want them to rob you? Because that's where they're going to go down that road. They're going to have to. And in a situation where they just love robbing people, these particular people who are homeless, they're robbing you because they need that fix. They're robbing you because they need that food. Those are survival tactics. Get them off the drug. Get them some food. And I guarantee you, robbing will disappear. So if we built systems, we can sit here and give subsidies to Elon Musk. And never mind the fact that Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, and all of these billionaires that are fucking with the country as it is, they made their money mostly off of government funds, which means me and you and you and you, our tax dollars went to them where they didn't even have to pay it back. We helped them get rich. And while they got our money in their pockets and made them hella rich, they're still trying to fuck us over for more. $400 million Elon Musk was going to get based on this Doge shit just so he can make some bulletproof fucking cyber trucks, armored cyber trucks. Makes no sense. Because you think about it. Anybody here in the military, tell me that you're going to be driving a car that has a battery running away from people who got gas tanks and shit. Soon as your battery's out, you dead. I don't care how many armored anything. Throw a bomb under it, boom, it's over. You're dead. So why would you even spend $400 million on something that really don't mean shit? It could never go out to war. If it did, it ain't making it back. You got to calculate. Are they chasing us? We only got 13 miles. Look around. Where's the exit? What kind of stupid shit is that? 400 million. You know how many millions you could use? 400 million is only 50 states. That's what? 50 and 50 is 100 to what? That's 100, 200, three. You got like, if you got 50 states, it goes into like 3 or 4 times. Each one of them get like 2 million to be able to help with poverty. Just off of that one fucking vehicle they want to build. You could do that to every state. Every year putting in $2 million to end poverty in each state on top of whatever the state is automatically doing. I messed up my numbers there. I'm trying to think in my head, but still. We got ways to fix the problems that we have. But you know the problem America has is we have that one shot, that one bullet, that one pill to fix everything. Tell people I'm going to do something. I'm going to fix, immigration, throwing people in jail. So you see it works. That pill to end weight. Just take the pill and you start losing weight. That pill to help you sexually. You buy that one, the blue one or whatever. I guess they got a new one, a red one. All these one pill things, the one shot, you're going to fix it all. That's not happening. But that's what Donald Trump does. He is that salesman that sells people BS by putting it in one little pill. I'm going to do this. And then all of a sudden, these people just fall for it. And they don't even care how he's going to do it. In actuality, they think he came up with a plan by just saying, I'm ending poverty. And you're like, well, where's his plan? Even when everyone was talking about he's going to help with health care. It's like, in 9 years, bro, where's your health care? I got concepts. They roll with the concepts. Because they hate the libs more because what? The libs were more prepared. The libs, I always said, when you listen to Kamala talk about her plan, Kamala actually had plans. She had dollar figures, $50,000 for this, $25,000 for that, get your first home, blah, blah, blah. She actually had plans, strategies. Donald Trump had slogans and hatred. Dog whistles. And every time you hear a Republican be talking about, well, Kamala doesn't have any plans. I'm like, are you not hearing the fucking plan? Because I hear plans. With Donald Trump, I hear zero plans. And you even had people on CNN and MSNBC. Well, she is kind of light on plans. I'm like, the fuck you talking about? Her plans are thorough. His shits are like rhymes, nursery rhymes, with nothing. He literally came out and said he had concepts of a fucking plan 9 years later. You talk about somebody who does homework. You're going to tell me if I give you, I said, you know what? I want you to solve the healthcare crisis in the United States. Oh, okay. And then you get a black man that came up with healthcare in a fucking like his first 2 years he's president. You get a white man talking about he's going to do it. He got 9 years to turn his homework in. And in 9 years, all he got is a fucking outline. And they still want him to be president. Boy, oh boy. Read some of these comments. But Drew, we need a ballroom next to the White House. The dude can't even dance. I'm sitting it. Dude can't dance. I'm sitting there. You seen these creepy videos of him? There's a creepy video out there where he kind of bites his lip, does some shit with his lip. His little pokey, little pouty lip. He's kind of like biting it. And there's a girl, she either had on a yellow skirt or a yellow shirt, one of the two, I can't remember. I think it's a yellow skirt. And he grabs her and throws her in front of the camera. He knows the camera's on him. That's where the light's coming from. But he didn't care. And he did and he didn't. He grabs the girl. She probably in her 20s. He had to be probably in his 40s or something. He grabs the girl, throws her, yanks her in front of him. And then you don't see it because you're looking like this. But I guess he didn't think about the other camera. There's a camera at an angle. Right? You might have the screen. There's a camera at the angle, and that camera sees him do that exact same thing. He grabs this girl, throws her in front, like grabs her and put her in front of her while he's on the dance floor, just so he could spank her ass. Then he goes up under and grabs her ass like that while she's dancing. She didn't ask for that. It's on tape that this man grabbed the ass of a 27-year-old girl who had no clue he was going to grab her ass. I thought it was locker room talk. Yeah, go find that. I thought it was locker room talk. It was the one where they always show it a lot, but there's a video of it, that full video, I guess the wider video you can see. If I can find it, I'll look it up. If I find it and tell you the name of it, I can do it. I'll put it on my page. But I'll look it up now. It might be on this one. No, that's not. Is that it? I'll try and find it and put a link to it because I don't see it right here. But I'll put it up. But yeah, grabs her butt. 27-year-old girl grabs her butt. Talking about it's just locker room talk. Well, we got a video of you actually grabbing the ass of a 27-year-old girl in your 40s who didn't ask for it. On top of that, you yanked her in front of you just so that you can grab her ass and you thought they weren't going to see it on the camera. And then you did that little, I got away with it type look. Go check it out. Thank you for the donation. Again, appreciate you, Five on Fire. She didn't just have plans, she had prophecies. I can't count how many times she was right if Trump won the White House. Exactly. She said so many things. If Donald Trump does this, this will happen. Does this, that will happen. Democracy will be in trouble, blah, blah, blah. Over and over again. This woman was, like you said, prophetic. She literally, she had prophecies on this. And it wasn't hard to see. When she mentioned it, anybody with a brain would be like, yeah, if he does this, he did this last time. He couldn't get away with it. You heard all General Milley. You heard all these different people who were Republicans. Even Bill Barr, who was a sycophant. He even came out, nope, could never be president again. They told you what kind of person this dude was. Wasn't hard. And what bothers me is that, again, this country, like I said, this country is so racist that even if she ran again, I know I'd vote for her, but I know she wouldn't win. I'm not trying to say I'm prophetic or nothing like that, but I just know this country. I knew it when she was running that it was going to be a hard hill to climb. Nothing's impossible. I just knew it was going to be a hard hill to climb, but I was willing to climb it. I voted. I talked about it. I made T-shirts about it. I don't make T-shirts about people, but I did that because I know that Donald Trump was going to be hell for us, and I was hoping and praying and didn't get an answer. Well, I got one and basically said, fuck you. So they put him back into office, and now we're back. We're here in a worse situation. And I know it's hard for Democrats to try and figure out, or independents to try and figure out, but we got to figure it out. Excuse me. So I do this every once in a while. Excuse me. Kind of an example, again, you guys get it, but, I don't know who's going to get to the end of this video and watch it, but I wrote something for that example about, crime and how to actually end it is economics. It's about investing. It's about creating jobs. It's about creating industries within the communities that are having crime. It's about having interventions. It's about actually investing, not necessarily talking about buildings yet, but investing in the people. Being able to say, okay, what industries are in the community or near the community? Therefore, what skills does the community need to be able to lift itself up? And if those particular skills or industries are on the rise, then we need to make sure that these people are given the opportunity to show their brilliance in a said position, either whether it starts in their high school, middle school, whatever it may be. These things should be invested in instead of getting rid of the Department of Education. We need to start investing in ways so that our people can get out of school, high school, to be able to get a living wage job, get out of college and have opportunities for a great career. We can't be sitting here getting rid of education. We need to be investing more into it so that our people can be the leaders of the future. Not sitting here trying to wait to get a minimum wage job, but to have opportunities to start creating businesses and investing. And if you start with these people young and so forth, by the time they're ready to get jobs, you've already had a tracking of these people as far as like they're in this program, they've learned this, they know how to code. You know that person's ready for it. Then our country should invest in that child. Should give that child an investment of, like you're giving these subsidies of $400 million for shit. There are kids right now that are brilliant that can go into robotics and different things like that. And you can invest in those kids so that they can be the leaders of the future. That's how you start getting poverty out of particular communities. That's how you start giving opportunities to people whose communities lack. No matter what race, color, or creed, poverty touches us all. And if you did that instead of investing $400 million into a Tesla that's a piece of shit to begin with, and you're trying to turn it into an armored piece of shit, no. On top of that, I don't know how many, I forgot the name of the plane, but there was a plane that, and we've done this many times, but I read on this by sometime either early last year or late last year. $2 trillion. America, we spent $2 trillion, me and your money, $2 trillion to build a plane that the military never fucking used. They went back to like the because I think they retired like the F-15 or something like that. They retired some plane or another, got another plane, invested $2 trillion into these planes, did not want them, decided to go back to the F whatever, 15, whatever, and redo it or some shit. $2 trillion wasted. You telling me $2 trillion couldn't be used to help poverty in this country, to help middle-class people get opportunities, to help invest in Americans so that they can start businesses and create opportunity and jobs for the future people of the world? These people who are in their 30s and 40 years old right now should be getting investments for businesses so that their kids and their grandkids can have jobs and opportunity, middle class, and a chance at the American fucking dream. But instead, you're investing it in toys that you'll never fucking use. It's just insane. Thank you, DJ. So those are the things that we could do that'll really solve the problem. This arresting more people or put more people on the streets is never been and it never will be a solution. It is a quick pill for people to wrap their brains around. They're doing something. That does not end crime, nor does it even decrease crime. For the most part, it increases it. And until Americans start waking the fuck up and stop just listening to the quick whips and learn how these things actually affect us, we don't have to keep putting money in the same place and never learning that it's never going to work. The things that Donald Trump is offering will lead to nowhere. And you would know that if you studied history in the 80s, in the crack epidemic and others. Over-policing does not end or even decrease crime. Ask Joe Biden about that. Ask Bill Clinton about that. That's why a lot of Democrats don't like them, because they had that crime bill. The same type of shit Donald Trump's trying to do is exactly what they did. And they had to apologize for that shit. And here we are trying to repeat the same shit under Donald Trump. And somehow that's a solution. We've been down that road. It's the problem of Americans. Too many of you guys are too stupid to look back into the past, or arrogant, or whatever the fuck it is, to look back in the past, recent past, to realize doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome is pure insanity. Why waste your money and time? Look at the root cause of crime, and it's poverty, lack of opportunity, low education. Therefore, people feel trapped. If you worked on that, lives would go up and crime would go down. It's just that simple. But not even Democrats or Republicans are trying to solve it that way. Both of them have tried this, put people in jail or raise hell type of way, and neither has worked. And seeing as how neither has worked, it's about time they wake the fuck up and realize that's not the way to solve it. Try something new. But you'll also understand, as a learned or educated human being, that they should already know this, which means neither party is trying to end crime. They just want to say it so that you vote for them. Because if you wanted to do it, you actually have solutions that lead to it. And they haven't done that yet. I'm just saying. Facts are facts. Right, Alice? Can Americans elect better people in politics? Oh, I wish they did. I wish they did, sister. I wish they did. Thank you for being here, Alice. I appreciate you. I'm going through the process of looking at everybody who is here. Dennis, appreciate you. Benny Loco, welcome. I didn't see you here. And look up. I'll thank you again for the donation. And that was DJ as I go up. 5 Alarm Fire, always a pleasure, man. Thank you for being here. Who else? What else we got? I think I saw Mark D here earlier. Rooted in Planet Janet, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Yeah, Mark D, there you go. Gun Toting Lefty, thank you for being here. $8 million a state. Thank you. It was $8 million a state. My brain was trying to figure it out. I was like, $2 million? No, $8 million a state. Come on. You can't end poverty, or at least affect poverty if it's focused on lifting people up, investing in people. Just like you give these subsidies to these rich people who don't need it, start giving it to the people who are poor, who have opportunities, but just lost their jobs, stuff like that, but they have great ideas. America needs to start investing in Americans. That's how we become great. When you get somebody who's lost their job and down in their luck, but they're a great electrician or a great whatever, if they come up with a business idea, the government should easily give them a subsidy, nothing they have to pay back, to get them on their feet so they can start a business that works, that can create more jobs, that can increase the economy. Hello? It's easy. And it's not hard. It's not hard at all. And it's not going to break the bank, because if you can give $400 million to one person, Peter Thiel got billions of dollars from our government. You can't tell me. You can't, for the people, we're paying the taxes just as well as they are. You can't tell me that you can't give $50,000 to a person who's down in luck, but yet though they're a great, programmer, and say, here, start your own business. Give us a plan. Okay, cool. Boom, 50 grand. Don't owe it back. You paid into the system, do it. And then go through the process, because they know that's a strike for them. They got not strike like and going to jail, nothing like that. It's like, you have got to make something out of that. You ain't gonna you may become a billionaire or millionaire from it, but you're going to try and create a job for you so that your family can eat. You're not gonna slack on that. These billionaires will spend a few $1 million trying something, be like, that ain't gonna work, and then turn around and do something else. Our money, don't spend $10 million on trying something, and they still got $400-something million or $300-something million left to try it a different direction. And here it is, people who are poor or middle class trying to get by. You can't invest in them with subsidies. It just doesn't make any sense. Nobody's saying just give it to them to be giving it to them. They got to do the homework. They got to go get their LLC or C Corp or whatever they want to do. They go through that whole process. They can pitch it to you, and boom, you should be able to give them a subsidy too to start their business, especially if it's going to be something that's either going to help American citizens or even help the government or help something else. That right there is a way to lift people out of poverty. That right there is a way to lessen crime. But if you ain't doing that, shut the fuck up about the crime shit, because you know, and I know, and Americans, if you just heard me, you should know now that putting more police out there does not make you safer. None whatsoever. You may be safe seeing that cop come around every so often, but the criminal ain't going to pay attention to the cop. None whatsoever. And the people in that community realize these cops are going to beat their children more so than help their children, and they're going to stop calling the cops. Solve the problem. Fix the crime. The root cause. If you work on that, you're not going to beat crime 100%, but I guarantee you, if they ever chose to go that route, crime would lower than it's ever been in history. I guarantee that. The only people going to be wanting to do crime after that is just people who just love crime. But most people just love life, and they're trying their damnedest to stay afloat. And they got to do what they got to do to get there. So solve the issue, you solve the crime. Gun Totem Lefty, thank you for that mathematical wizardry. My mind wasn't being able to do it off the top of the dome. Who else we got? B Money, I see you. DJ, as always, I appreciate you. I see you. I'm getting up to the top, close to it. Almost there. Rude in the Planet Janet. I don't know if I mentioned you earlier, but if I didn't, thank you for being here. I think, who was that? Woke Mike. Appreciate you. I don't know if you had to leave. You did yesterday. So I was on fire. Sadly, our elected Democrat leaders are just writing strongly worded letters. This moment demands action, not interviews and frowns. Yes. When I heard him say that, when I saw him say that, my mouth dropped. I was like, my jaw dropped. I'm like, did this fool just say he wrote a strongly worded letter? I was like, no, what century are you in? I promise you that shit felt like the 1880s or some shit. I was like, what? Dude, you should have retired when that actually worked. When it stopped working, you should have retired. That shit stopped working like in 1907 or some shit. You should have stopped at that point. Said quit. Brother said 1907. Great sermon tonight, Vera. Thank you. I appreciate you. You enjoyed the rant. Say hi to KB, 5 on Fire, Better Half. Hey, KB, how you doing? 5 on Fire, Better Half. Oh, yeah. Your husband's great. I talked to him for a minute. Really cool. Let's see who else. That's it. Kenneth, I see you too. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Only we're going to solve this problem when we start caring about each other, try to fix something that really actually works instead of just talking it and saying all these little beautiful phrases and rhymes. These nursery rhymes got to go because they lead us to nowhere. They leave us nowhere. We haven't got outside the crib. I don't need a baby bottle or a rattle or nothing like that. I am a grown-ass man. I need solutions. And as you know, I'm going to start a show called Avid Solutionist. It's because I love solutions. What you just heard from me came off the dome, how we can solve the problems. It's just that simple. You find the root of the cause, right? And that's poverty, no opportunities, right? And you don't have to necessarily be poor, but you can be a person who's living check to check and just barely getting by. That's still in that poor range. And those are the types of things that lead people to doing things that they normally would not do. Most of these crimes of stealing and robbing come from a fact of lack. And if we work on that, we can lessen crime. Stop listening to the little rhymey, jokey shit. You know, we go end crime today, whatever. We spit, you hit, all that. That leads us nowhere. More division. But if we lead down the fact of thinking of every woman, man, or child as a family member, and that you have no problems helping them if you had it, then we can start having empathy and sympathy for those who don't have. And for those of us who do have, we should have that same empathy and sympathy to be able to help people get to a better place. So it's not just one tier. Every tier that you may be in, whether you're wealthy as crap or whether you're poor as crap, you should always be able to figure out a way to help other people. And if we do that, we'll have a better country. And we'll realize that, you know, they're the people who are trying and keep falling. All they need is somebody like us to keep speaking some good and kind words into them so that they can cling on to another success instead of falling into failure and through the gaps where nobody recognizes them. We are not alone. We were all put here together so that we can work together. This whole world and what we're doing, it's a we thing. And this machismo bullshit is what's got us on this me crap. It's a we thing. If we work together, just think how great this country could be. Just think how great the world could be. If we can just go and enjoy people's culture and not hate it on it. If we allow people to do whatever they want to do, as long as it's not hurting anybody, and just let the Constitution ride the way it is. If we're going to put anything in it, put stuff in it to improve people's lives, not to hate on somebody else. If you're a religious person, great. Love it. Don't force it on nobody else. If you're a non-religious person, love it. Don't try and degrade anybody else's shit just so you can make your theory better. Just live your life the way you live it. I understand when you get attacked like I do sometimes, I go at you or whatever you at because I'm like, yo, I don't care what you are. Just don't tell me what I should be. You can tell me how you feel, but don't turn around and ask me, you should be this way and you should see this and you're going to die. Shut up. Get this. You keep that. You keep it and believe in it, but you keep it. And that's why I don't like people putting 10 commandments in somebody's school when you got a brother or sister over here who's Muslim. They don't have any part in their school. Kids shouldn't be thinking about their religion, their differences. They should be thinking about, oh, you like math? Oh, I like math too. The basics. All that other shit, you invite them over to your house so they can witness Christianity or witness being a Muslim. They shouldn't be in school discussing that because that's the divisive part of things. Learning the math and English, that's where you come together on. Learning how to program, you can work together, whether you're wearing, a scarf around your head or you got a cross around your neck. Division is what destroys this country. Unity is what's going to pull it together. And Donald Trump is taking us to the brink. And it's time for Americans to say, fuck this divisive shit and come together on some real shit. We want the American dream for all. Not one race, not a supreme race, but for all races, colors, and creeds that just want to live by the Constitution and live by what's right and stop telling everybody else what they should do in their home, in their bedroom, on their body, or whatever. Live your life. And if you don't like certain things, nobody's forcing you to be around certain people. Go live in a cave if you have to. Move away from certain people if you have to. But we're free in this country. And when Americans decide that we're going to not take the bullshit no more, we'll take it to a higher place and kick these bullshit people to the curb. I said what I said. All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a good night. Y'all be safe. Keep your religion to yourself, the 11th commandment. Most definitely. Good night, everybody. Much love to y'all. I'll see you when I see you.